Friends, countrymen, penny stock billionaires. Today we're gonna be speaking about why do many stocks drop on good news. You know what happens when those stocks, they have great news comes out, whatever the news is, and just when you're thinking that this thing is gonna like double that day, no, instead it drops 10%. Okay, I'm going to talk about that and Paris syndrome. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, the market is forward-looking, which means that, a lot of the times the good news has already been priced in. So by the time this good news comes out, people were already expecting it. They were expecting all these great things, and by then they probably got out of it. There's an old expression on Wall Street: buy the rumor, sell the news. Buy the rumor, sell the news. So you want to get into these stocks when there is there's no good news, there's no hard information. Everything is just rumor, mystery, hot air. By the time that reality comes into reality, by the time it becomes actually crystallized into material reality, by then everything is already baked in. So the stock has nowhere to go but down, or at least temporarily, right? What does this have to do with Paris syndrome? So Paris syndrome is, I think it's a psychological term. Apparently, this is what happens. Mostly it affects young Japanese and Korean girls. They have these expectations before they go to Paris that it's going to be this, beautiful romantic place, and all the stuff that they see in the movies from the 1950s, all the fantasy stuff. And by the time they get off the plane, then they have the weather is bad, the bad traffic, people are rude and nasty, things are it's not the fantasy, the romantic fantasy that it's made out to be. So they get very jaded, and sometimes they become depressed, and it's called Paris syndrome. So the key is, so stocks are the same way. Investors get Paris syndrome also. They expect that when this miracle event, whatever that event is, that new acquisition or whatever you name it, or earnings news, whatever it is, it's the same thing. That event is Paris. Okay, so a lot of times people think, wow, it's going to be this amazing thing is going to happen, but when this acquisition finally closes, and you know what? The reality is, it's just like Paris. I mean, sure, it could be, it's actually great, but there's integration issues. There's all stuff that happens in real life. Nothing is ever that perfect road. And all that. So the Paris syndrome sets in, and these stocks drop. Which also, here's the reverse of that. Like I said, the market is forward looking. What does that mean? That means that if we're expecting some major event, some event out on the horizon, and this event is going to be it's going to have an impact on the valuation. So let's say, let's use acquisition as an example. We're expecting a company to, close, some, significant acquisition, which is going to be material and make a very positive impact on the company. Or actually, no, I'll give you a better example. I'm sorry. Let's say the company's doing, $10 million in revenues right now, and, we're saying that, hey, this stock is going to explode because they're going to be doing 50 million by by the end of the year. In 12 months they'll be doing 50 million, so it's going to be a 5x increase, right? Well, what happens is the market is forward looking. So if the stock is $1 today and we think it's going to go to $10, 10x, based on that 50 million revenues. That 10x is not going to happen in 12 months when they're doing 50 million. It's not. It's going to happen much faster. When is it going to happen? It's probably going to happen sometime in month number 6, when they're doing 30 million or 25 million, whatever it is. The market is forward looking, so investors start extrapolating out into the future. So as soon as you have a flow of good news, some positive momentum, investors extrapolate that out well into the future. So things get priced in advance. The market, again, it's forward looking. So here is the key. Whenever we talk about stock, when we say, okay, hey, this stock could be a 10 bagger, because their revenues are going to go, they're going to increase, 5x or 10x, whatever the number is. And, in theory, that 10x is going to happen in 12 months. So just be prepared to get out. Take your, well, I mean, I'm not saying you got to, take your money and run, but, be prepared to take profits when? Here we are passing Mar-a-Lago again. There was actually some guys on a bicycle passing by that flipped the middle finger to the other side. Where our great president, Donald J. Trump, is ensconced right now, and awaiting the return of Donald J. Trump as president could happen next week, but maybe 24. But it could happen sooner. He might be reinstated. Maybe we shouldn't say that, because this is spreading misinformation. I don't want to get banned on YouTube for spreading misinformation. So, anyway, what are we talking about? Yeah. So forward looking. So, when let's say stock is $1 and we're saying, hey, the catalyst for this thing is to be, $10, because revenue is going to be 50 million. They're going to go from 5 million to 50 million, whatever it is. You want to take your profits sometime in about 6 months, once you were about 3/4 of the way there. So as we're getting closer to that event, that's when you go take in, because the market is already pricing it in. It's already baked in. And you want to get out, and maybe you want to hop back in a little while later, because I can almost guarantee you that the price will drop, the stock will drop once they achieve that event. Once they arrive in Paris, the reality will set in. Now, of course, great things can happen after that, and and all that other good stuff. But in the meanwhile, we have profits to take, and nobody ever went broke taking a profit. So there you go.